All right, let's just dive right into this. We've all seen them, we've all clicked on them, but have you ever really stopped to ask yourself why? Today, we're pulling back the curtain on one of the most powerful, most persuasive content formulas on the entire internet, the things I wish I knew headline.
I mean, seriously, think about it for a second. You're just scrolling, minding your own business, and then bam, you see it. 7 things I wish I knew before whatever. And your finger it moves. It's like an involuntary reflex. So what in the world is going on there?
So first, let's talk about that gut feeling. You know the one. What is that irresistible little pull that just makes us have to click and find out what's behind that headline?
Because this isn't an accident. It's not just a coincidence that this format works so well. It is, and this is the key, a carefully crafted formula. A formula designed to grab our attention and not let go. So, let's break it down. The structure itself is almost deceptively simple, right? X things I wish I knew before. And then you just fill in the blank. Our source material for this explainer, Wisdom from Experience, the Copying Channels Playbook, gives us a perfect example. 7 things I wish I knew before I started copying channels. It's specific, it's intriguing, and it immediately promises some kind of valuable, hard-won insight. And this quote from our source, this is the whole game right here. It lays out the entire strategy. This isn't just about making you curious. It's about tapping into 2 of the most powerful human motivators we have, the deep-seated fear of future regret and the intense desire for wisdom.
And that is the secret sauce. This isn't just about clever words. It's a finely tuned psychological combination, a real 1-2 punch that our brains are, frankly, almost defenseless against. So let's look at both parts of that punch, shall we?
And this illustrates that dynamic perfectly. On one side, you have the stick. That's the fear of regret. This hits us right where we live, tapping directly into a powerful psychological trigger called loss aversion. Basically, we are wired to hate missing out or making a mistake. Then, on the other side, you've got the carrot, the promise of wisdom. This offers us a golden ticket, a shortcut to avoid the very pain that the stick is threatening us with.
Okay, let's dig a little deeper into that first part of the equation, the psychology of regret. Why is the fear of messing something up in the future so incredibly compelling? Well, it really all boils down to this: loss aversion. This is a huge concept in behavioral economics. Study after study has shown that the pain of losing, say, $20 feels about twice as bad as the pleasure of finding $20. It's just how we're wired. So when a headline hints that you might make a costly mistake, your brain just screams, "Click that! We have to avoid the pain." But here's the thing, fear all by itself can be a real turnoff. The formula's genius because it doesn't just leave you with the fear, it immediately pairs it with a solution. And that brings us to the second, much more positive driver, the promise of wisdom. We are hardwired to look for shortcuts and ways to make our lives easier.
This works because of a little mental shortcut we all use called the expert heuristic. See, when someone says, "I've already been through this struggle and I've come out the other side with lessons," we automatically see them as a kind of expert. Our brain basically says, "Awesome, I can trust this person and save myself all the time and agony of figuring this out the hard way."
Okay, so we get the psychology. We understand the why. Now let's get practical. How can you spot this formula out in the wild? And for all you creators out there, how can you use it effectively and ethically?
It's really a pretty simple 3-step process. First, you pinpoint a common pain point or a goal that your audience has. Second, you frame your own experience as valuable hindsight. These are the lessons you had to learn the hard way. And third, you present that knowledge as the clear, simple shortcut they've been hoping to find.
And what's amazing is just how versatile this template really is. It works for literally any niche you can think of. Business, fitness, hobbies, huge life decisions, it doesn't matter. The underlying psychological drivers are totally universal, which makes the formula universally effective.
So the big takeaway here is this. The next time you're scrolling and you see one of those "things I wish I knew" headlines, you'll know exactly what's happening under the hood. It's not just a catchy phrase. It is a masterclass in psychological persuasion, perfectly engineered to tap into your deepest fears and your strongest desires. And that leaves us with one final question. This formula is a powerful tool, for sure. And like any powerful tool, its impact really depends on the person using it. So now that you know the mechanics behind the perfect click, how are you going to use this knowledge?